New Warbond has just been announced. So what we're going to do is we're going to fully watch the trailer first, and then we're going to break this down in depth because there's some very interesting things in this trailer. Okay, let's go. Let's watch. El Illuminatos. Music's on point. The trailers are always kind of bangers, you know? Good vibes. That was a new AR. Grenade launcher, AR. That's an interesting shot right there. That one's also very interesting. We're gonna have to break a lot of shit down when it comes to this trailer, okay? I'm hoping that the Illuminates come back soon as well, guys. I really am. The Force of Law, out on June the 12th. That armor is pretty fire. New pistol. Okay, there it is. So you can see the armor, everything. We're going to take a look at this a little bit more in depth at the moment. There's a few things that I want to go over here. First few shots, nothing crazy. Illuminates doing their thing. Let's take a look here. So this is where it starts, right? This is where we're going to get the first few weapons. We see the AR here and the grenade launcher. Clearly says new weapon. So it seems to be like a normal AR. I don't think this is going to be a support weapon. The grenade launcher, the way it looks and everything, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a support weapon, right? And you notice that it shoots. You will see, boom, right there. It's arc shots, almost like Blitzer. Grenade launcher, de-escalator. Yeah, you see that like the explosion happens. Takes them out, but it doesn't like actually clear them out, as you will notice, fully, right? It kind of stuns them. You know what I mean? Now, this is the interesting part because this is going to be the guard dog. This is like essentially like a Blitzer, but it's a Blitzer guard dog, right? It does look like the Arc Thrower more actually than the Blitzer, if you ask me. It actually is very similar to Arc Thrower on this end. Now, all of this, what you see right here, is going to highly depend on one thing, and that is going to be the fire rate, right? So, for example, if you remember when the Blitzer first got added to the game, the fire rate was very, very low, and it was pretty much useless. Right? Like you could use it, but it wasn't good at all. They had to then move forward and increase the fire rate of the Blitzer for it to feel good. Now, if this weapon or guard dog doesn't have good fire rate, you're still never going to be using this. The reason for that is you have way better options. So let's say this one shoots, I don't know, very slowly. In that case, this is not worth it. Because if you notice, let's take a look at that. It zaps these enemies, like watch closely. It's going to zap them, right? But it only kills a few, and then most of them are pretty much alive, which would mean that you're way better off with a gas rover, laser rover, especially with the fire changes. The gas rover is still the best when it comes to crowd control, obviously. So it's going to be a very hard pick unless the fire rate is pretty decent, right? We can't tell what kind of fire rate this is going to have from the trailer. So once again, if they have, you know, good fire rate on this thing, it's going to be a banger. If not, it really won't matter as much. Then we have, I don't know why the audio is cutting out, by the way. My apologies. They have the grenade. So you see it stick to the enemy here. And then he gets stunned. You notice that, right? And that's on purpose. They show that on purpose. You can see that clearly. Like he gets hit and then it gets staggered. You could not do this with the normal stun grenade. So what's happening here, I'm assuming, is that this is going to be a stun for bigger targets or for targets where the stun grenade doesn't work. Now, it's going to be interesting if this works on like super big targets. I doubt that. But even the fact that it works for this guy, the flash mob, is pretty cool. And that could bring in some interesting things to the battlefield depending on your loadout. However, you could swap it out. Like, for example, you use the gas rover, and in that case, you can run this grenade to have more control over like bigger targets such as the flash mob, and then you're going to have the gas rover for like, you know, other enemies such as like the zombies or overseers or whatever there is, right? So that could be a very cool combination, obviously. Once again, this is going to be something that we're going to have to test, and we're going to be doing it live on stream when this comes out, so make sure to be there. Then we have the armor sets. They don't mention the perks here anywhere. Visually, pretty good. Let's take a look at some of the other footage here. I think we get some more footage, right? Which should be interesting. Some cool shots. Okay, that's about it. No crazy information there. On this pictures, though, yeah, you see it, right? Like, it's essentially like an arc thrower, dude. Like, boom, you can see it. So now, let's say this grenade launcher essentially works like Blitzer. Like, from this shot, you can kind of tell that it's probably what it's going to be, like a big Blitzer explosion. Am I going to be using this a lot? That also depends, right? Like, a lot of these things on footage, right? There's a reason that it's shown from this angle or that angle. There's a reason why that backpack that we saw only shot once, because most likely they don't want to showcase, you know, the fire rate or whatever in the trailers or the damage numbers and so on. If this works like I think it should work, which is you can spam it like a normal grenade launcher, and the area of effect you can see is clearly pretty big. So if it has very good stun or very good damage, very good ad clear, then I could most likely see this being added to my arsenal. Another question is, will it stun big targets such as like chargers, bile titans? How is it going to perform? And if it's not good, I'm going to let you guys know live on stream, okay? Now, when it comes to the AR, we don't really have essentially any information here, so we can't really talk about it. And then when it comes to the grenade, as mentioned, I think it's just going to be a tool to stun bigger targets, which can be implemented as we went over into some builds. So in this Warbond, essentially, we're going to have what? Like 2 weapons. And then, which is, I'm assuming one is going to be a stratagem, one is going to be normal weapon. And then we do have the backpack as well. So maybe 2 stratagems. And no, it's 2 stratagems and 2 weapons, because we also get the pistol. So that's actually way better than the previous Warbond. And on top of that, we do get a grenade that can stun bigger targets, as it shows in this trailer. Guys, I just noticed the pistol and this armor, right? This is available in the Superstore, it says. So I'm guessing this weapon will be sold in the Superstore. I don't know exactly. Oh, Grand Juror. Oh, are we doing like, is this the Judge Dredd kind of crossover? That's what it looks like to me, right? The pistol, everything. I don't know if it's like an official crossover, but that's what it looks like to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would make sense, dude. We got a pistol armor set in terms of like the visuals. I mean, that would make sense. That's interesting. And with that in mind, if this is like a Judge Dredd inspired Warbond, what other kind of movie inspirations would you like to see in the next upcoming Warbonds, dude? That would be interesting. What about the movie Alien, Predator? Get to the job now. You know what I mean? Like all the good stuff. Put that in like an emote. Get to the job. Let me voice act it. You know what I mean? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Am I happy with what I see? Much happier compared to the previous Warbond, because at least we get weapons that we can actually use and test them out. Now, it's going to be a different story if they're going to be so good that I actually implement them into my build, but we're going to have to wait and see in order to figure that out. And yeah, essentially that's it for the trailer. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments section below. The armor pieces, guys, once again, perks, we need to know what it is and see how it really works into our builds overall. If you guys did enjoy this one, slap a like, sub to the channel. I'm going to be breaking all of this down live on stream. Make sure to be there. It's going to be a great time. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.